Have you ever wondered how one small action could completely change your future? Think about it. What if you left your house just 1 minute later? What if you smiled at a stranger instead of walking past? Could those tiny moments really decide the course of your life? This idea is called the butterfly effect. It's the belief that something as small as the flap of a butterfly's wings could set off a chain of events leading to a storm on the other side of the world. It sounds like a fantasy, doesn't it? But stay with me until the end, because the stories I'm about to share will prove that this effect is more real than you think. And by the end of this video, you'll see why every small choice you make could be far more important than you imagine. The butterfly effect started in science. In the 1960s, a mathematician named Edward Lorenz was working on weather prediction. He entered data into a computer, but instead of typing a long number, he rounded it just slightly. To his shock, that tiny change didn't just adjust the forecast by a little. It completely changed the outcome of the entire weather pattern. That mistake showed that even the smallest difference could lead to massive changes over time. This became the heart of chaos theory, and the famous metaphor was born: the flap of a butterfly's wings could lead to a storm across the world. But the butterfly effect isn't just about science. It's about life. And once you start looking for it, you'll see it everywhere. Think about being late by 1 minute. That single minute means you miss a bus. Missing the bus means you meet someone on the next one. That person later becomes your closest friend, or even your life partner. One tiny shift sets off an entire chain of events you could never predict. History is full of butterfly effect stories. One of the most famous happened in 1914. Archduke Franz Ferdinand, the heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne, was traveling in Sarajevo. His driver took a wrong turn. That small mistake placed the car right in front of an assassin. The assassination triggered World War I. A single wrong turn set off a chain of events that changed the entire world. Another real story happened in Japan in 1931. A man missed his train. It might have felt like an annoyance at the time, but that train later crashed and killed hundreds of passengers. That small delay saved his life. Because he lived, his future family existed. Think about it. A moment that seemed like bad luck actually created an entire bloodline. These aren't just distant stories. The butterfly effect shows up in personal lives too. Someone holds the door open for a stranger. That kindness sparks a short conversation. The two exchange numbers. Years later, they're married with kids. A simple action, so small it could have been ignored, creates an entirely new life. Now think about the opposite. Someone decides not to act. They don't send the message. They don't apply for the job. They don't say yes to the opportunity. That small inaction can erase entire possibilities that might have existed. The butterfly effect isn't only about what happens. It's also about what never happens. Psychologists say the butterfly effect teaches us how sensitive life is to small changes. Our brains often believe that only big decisions matter. Choosing a career, buying a house, moving to a new city. But in reality, it's often the little things that push us into new directions. A smile, a missed call, a chance meeting, or even the choice to stop for coffee instead of walking straight home. Scientists connect this to chaos theory. Systems like weather, ecosystems, and even human life are extremely sensitive to starting points. The smallest difference now leads to massive changes later. That's why it feels like life can be unpredictable. And maybe that unpredictability is what makes it so mysterious and beautiful. The butterfly effect has also inspired movies, books, and art. The idea that one small choice could alter an entire future keeps people fascinated. In the film The Butterfly Effect, the character goes back to small moments in his past, and each tiny change completely reshapes his future. Whether or not you've seen it, the message is clear: life is fragile, and choices matter. Let's make it personal. Think back to a time you made a small decision that changed everything. Maybe you picked a different route home and avoided an accident. Maybe you took a job you didn't plan on and it opened new doors. Maybe you met someone because of a coincidence that didn't feel important at the time. When you look back, you realize that tiny choice changed your entire path. That's the butterfly effect working in real life. It also explains why no two lives are the same. Every single action, no matter how small, builds on the next. That's why identical twins, who share the same DNA, can live completely different lives. One small decision, one chance meeting, one missed opportunity, and their paths split apart. So what can we learn from this theory? First, it's a reminder to not underestimate small actions. Saying thank you. Helping someone. Taking that extra step. You never know what chain reaction it might start. Second, it's proof that life is unpredictable. You can plan as much as you want, but small unseen details can change everything. And third, it's a reason to be hopeful. Even if things seem stuck, one small action could set off a change bigger than you can imagine. Here's the twist. The butterfly effect isn't only about dramatic events or world-changing history. It's also about the quiet moments. The times you don't notice at all. A single choice you barely think about can open the biggest doors in your future. That's both humbling and inspiring. So the next time you're faced with a decision, big or small, remember this. Every action carries weight. Every step can lead to a path you didn't expect. Life is a chain of invisible connections, and you're part of it right now. And here's your reward for watching until the end. The butterfly effect is just one piece of a bigger puzzle. Behind it is something called chaos theory. It's the science that explains why the universe is unpredictable, and why patterns hide inside what looks like randomness. That's the next story I'll share. And once you hear it, you'll never look at the world the same way again. So make sure to like, share, and subscribe, because you don't want to miss it.